So Taylor, in the last video we looked at the different roles that people have within the whole programme to support the pupil. I think from our discussions it's important for us to go into a bit more detail about what level and what areas each of those roles encompasses. Perhaps you can explain a bit more about the role of the classroom tutor.
The classroom tutor, their role is very clearly identified. They deliver the course which has been devised by the management, and they are trained to do this. Not only trained, but of course also supported. And the most important part of that support for the tutor is in the form of a very detailed lesson plan, which is written by management. So the lesson plan, just so you have some understanding of it, not only contains what subjects are to be taught in that lesson or what examples are to be used, but it's as specific as what question to ask at this point, how to introduce this topic, and how long to spend on this part of the lesson and on that part of the lesson, and what pitfalls that children are likely to fall into so that they can be anticipated and so on. So the lesson plan is very detailed, and it's certainly not prepared by the classroom tutor. The classroom tutor's role is to follow that lesson plan effectively, and as I say, they are trained to do this. Also, the classroom tutor is monitoring the children within the lesson whilst they're conducting the lesson, so that they can pick up areas of strength and weakness, and then help pupils and parents by giving guidance on how they can address those weaknesses. And also, of course, marking of homework and giving feedback on that. So at the end of the lesson, typically a tutor, when a pupil is signed up, will give a brief verbal feedback if there is anything noteworthy to be said to the parent, so that they're giving guidance to the parent on how they can help their child and how they're doing. So that essentially is the role of the tutor.
Okay, great. And it's obviously a very important role, but I think one of the things that's really, really important is to understand that all of the tutors that you have are following an identical lesson plan.
Well, yes, that's correct. Unlike in a school or a college where the lecturers and teachers and tutors typically prepare their own teaching materials, the tutors on this program do not prepare any materials. They're not teaching, if you like, from their experience. They're teaching according to the experience of the company. So their role is very much to deliver it, if you like, accurately and as designed. And they're very well qualified people, very well educated people who do this. Of course, they're all CRB checked because of the nature of the work they're doing, but they're also trained specifically to teach this course, which is unlike any other course. And they may or may not have a teaching qualification, but that's actually at best irrelevant, because teaching this course is not like teaching in a school at all. So being trained to teach this course is the most important qualification that a tutor on this course can have, and it's management's role to ensure that that is in fact the case.
And in fact that's one of the reasons why you're able to move pupils to another classroom. If they miss a lesson, they can catch up at another lesson later in the week, because they're going to be taught exactly the same thing in exactly the same way. Well,
precisely. They will get the same lesson, maybe a different tutor, different venue, different time, different day, same lesson. And also in some of the school holidays there are catch-up lessons, which again on the same principle, children get to do the same work. And whilst you're on that train of thought, sometimes the regular tutor for a group will not be available to teach because they are ill or because of some other unavoidable clash, and in that case another course tutor will step in and teach the same lesson, which should be a welcome thing for pupils and parents, because it's a fresh pair of eyes, and it does help to sort of have fresh input, because it's a long course, it's very demanding. Sometimes what does happen also is that therefore there will be a change of tutor for various reasons. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, again the same principle applies, that it is a course tutor who's qualified to teach the course, and they can do so effectively.
So this is very different to schools then, because I know in schools you change a teacher, you change the whole, everything changes. So I know from my own personal experience as a child, when the teacher changes, everything goes out of kilter. That's not the case in your course, because every teacher is taught exactly what to teach in every lesson. Every tutor is doing exactly the same thing.
Well, that's right. Again, it goes back to the thing that in schools and colleges, the teachers themselves prepare the lessons, and it's not the case, because this is a very tightly structured program prepared in great detail.
And if you'd like to find out more about the courses available, or just have some questions about the 11+, then give Sir Taylor or one of his colleagues a call on the number provided through the Contact Us button.